Morning children, how are you all? Those of you are at home, finding difficult to study or finding easy? I don't know. So those of you are coming to the school, I think they will be able to do better because they are able to guide those who are remaining at home. You have to make lot of effort. That's only I can say. Okay, we have seen the first part of the Jodi's form. Okay, so today you will see the second part. Before that, let me ask you some questions. There are comprehension passages, not? The first part comprehension is there. What had happened to Jodi's father? Can anybody tell me? What had happened to Jodi's father? Yes? Yeah, Jodi's father was bitten by a rattle snake. Okay, very good. Now, second one is, how did the doe save Penny's life? How did the doe means what? Female of the deer. Okay, female of the deer. How did it save? So, what happened is, they killed the doe, took its liver and heart and applied in order to remove the poison from the body. The rattlesnake, it was a poisonous snake, and in order to remove the poison from the body, they killed the doe and took its liver and heart and applied. Then it could, that is, I don't know how, but that is what they did in order to save. Very good. Second one is, why does Jodi want to bring the fawn home? Fawn is what? The baby doe. So the mother is dead, is not? So the baby is left abandoned somewhere. So that boy felt kind towards the fawn and wanted to bring it home. He wanted to raise it up, grow it in his house with the permission of his parents. Is it not? That is what. Because Jodi did not want to abandon the fawn that is left because it lost its mother. Okay. Fourth question, how does Jodi know that the fawn is a male? How does Jodi know that fawn is a male? There is in the conversation he says he, is it not? How he knows it is a male? Yeah, the last sentence tells, the father told him, if the female doe, or if it is a female, the spot will be all in a line. There will be lines on the male one. Okay, so that is why he knows, because he got the knowledge from his father. Very good. Okay, now that is about the comprehension. Of course, I will send you the notes later, not now. Now, since you are having the exam, I don't send the notes. Okay, so now the second part you will learn. All of you take your textbook, page number 90, the second part of this lesson. Okay, Jodi gave himself over to thoughts of the fawn. They passed the abandoned clearing. So, we have seen the last, Jodi and Milhill, they were going in search of. They wanted the horse and they were going in search of the doe, where the spot where they killed, or where the daddy was bitten by the snake, or where that doe was killed. They are going in search of it. That is what we have seen. Is it not? So he gave himself because he felt pity for the doe, the fawn. Is it not? Who felt pity? Jodi felt pity for. That is why he suggested, he got permission from his father and mother and going in search. Okay. Now, he said, cut to the north, because they are riding the horse. So he is telling, cut the north, Milhill. So he is telling to Milhill, cut the short, because going this side and that side, like that. It was up here that Pa got bitten by the snake and killed the doe, and I saw the fawn. He said, this is the place daddy was bitten. Daddy was bitten by the snake and they killed the doe, and I have seen the fawn. So he says that. So that is a particular way. Suddenly Jody was unwilling to have Mill Hill with him. So suddenly Jody said, you don't come. He doesn't want to take Mill Hill. Jody doesn't want to take Mill Hill with him to get down and insert. If the fawn was dead or could not be found, he could not have his disappointment seen. So what he wanted to do, if he doesn't find the fawn or the fawn is dead, who will be disappointed? Jody will feel so disappointed. He doesn't want to see that scene. He doesn't want to show to Mill Hill. That is why he doesn't want to take him. Because it is a disappointment for him, disappointment for Jody if he doesn't find the fawn or he find that the fawn is dead. So he will feel bad, he will feel disappointed. So he doesn't want to show that scene to Mill Hill. Okay, understand. Now, and if the fawn was there, the meeting would be so lovely and so secret that he could not endure to share it. So then what he says, in case if the fawn is there and he see that he will overjoy that. It's not that he doesn't want to see his feelings. If the fawn is dead or missing, or if the fawn is found, he will have that emotional feeling which he doesn't want to show to Mill Hill. That is why he doesn't want to take Mill Hill with him getting down from the horse. Is it clear for you? No. He said, it is not far now, but the scrub is very thick. For a horse, I can make it on foot. He said, now it is not far from where this place exactly accident took place or things had happened. He told you stop here, you remain here because you cannot take the horse inside because of thick forest and so he doesn't want. I can make it. I can go on foot. He said he can walk and go. He doesn't want to take Mill Hill to that particular spot. Now he knows what is the reason now. He doesn't want to show his feelings, whether it is negative feelings or positive feelings. He doesn't want to share that. He wanted to keep it as a secret thing. So then, but I am afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by the snake too. Then Mill Hill is telling, I don't want to leave you alone. I don't want to. If you are also lost and if you are also bitten by the snake, what will happen? So Mill Hill doesn't want to send this boy alone. I will take care. He's telling, I will take care. It might take me a long time to find the fawn. If he is unwandered, leave me off right here. He said, no problem. I can search. It may take some time. So he says, it might be long time to find the fawn. If he is wandered, leave me off right here. Then he says, okay, if it is long time, you will keep me and you go. Like, give me off. Leave me off right here. He just keep me and go. All right, but you take it easy now. You know north here and east. So now he's telling, okay, now you know the place, is not? So you know which is north, which is south, which is west, all those things, you know it. Okay, now he is confirmed. There and there, that tall pine maze bearing so long. So he is, because he noticed maybe the distant place because it is a forest place. It is very difficult to find, but in search, his thirst for or his love for this fawn is making him to go in search of it. So he says, here and there, the tall pine makes a bearing so long, Mill Hill, I am obliged. So he is telling, no, this is very difficult and you are alone, and he doesn't want. He is telling, these pine trees are long and for him it is very difficult. He said, I am obliged to save you. I am obliged to help you. Obliged means, I want to help you. I am responsible for you because I have taken you from home. It's not. That is what he is telling. I am obliged. He wanted for the sound of the hoofs to end. So he told, now slowly you ride, because the horse make noise, hoof sound. When the horse walk, sound is there, he told, slow you down, don't make a noise. Then cut to the right, then slowly cut to the right. So he is directing him which side to move. The scrub was still. The scrub was still. So he says that only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. Slowly he just walked and silently he was going. Therefore, what way he is going? In search of, because if the sound is heard, the doe may run away or hide somewhere. He doesn't. Slowly he was just going in search of, in silence, everywhere silence. If the horse makes it will make noise, So he told to stop and slowly, silently going. He wondered, and for an instant, if he had mistaken his direction. He was frightened also, if whether he will make a mistake in his direction, because this side, that side, he has to search, because in the big forest and alone and search, but all that things was there. Then a buzzard rose in front of him. What is buzzard? A large bird like a vulture that eats flesh or dead animals. So he saw a big vulture-like animal which eats flesh. It is their meanings are given in the side of your textbook. And he found that. Then a buzzard rose in front of him and flopped into the air. So he saw that buzzard is getting up. The vulture-like animal is flying off. He came into the clearing under the oak. Then he came to the oak tree, under the oak tree. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe. Then he saw the dead body, that the doe, one of that dead body, the buzzard is sitting, circling. Circling means just flying around, because they were eating. By seeing the boy sound, they flew off. But it was there. So carcass means dead body, the dead body of the doe. They turned their heads on their long, scareway neck and hissed at him. So this animal was trying to eat the flesh, because the doe is dead, the long neck, and he is narrating what the animals, the vulture was doing. What they did, the doe, they turned their necks. Whose neck? The vulture, on their long, scrawny necks and hissed at. Hissed means eating, trying to eat. Then he threw his bow at them and they flew into the adjacent tree. So what happened then? The boy threw something and that vulture flew away to the adjacent nearby trees. Then the sand showed large cat prints and the big cats killed flesh, and they had left the doe in the carrion birds. So what happened? They found that some animals has killed this doe, and the other vulture was coming and eating. So what happened is they felt they had left the doe to the carrion birds. So the birds, the terrible birds which were eating that, they left there and went away. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn. He saw that incident. They have seen one doe, something they killed, and that. So then he parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn. He did not seem possible that it was only yesterday. The fawn was not there. He circled the clearing. There was no sound, no sign. Buzzards crackled their wings, impatient to return to their business. He turned to the spot where the fawn had emerged and dropped on all fours, studying the sand for the small hoof prints. The night's rain had washed away all tracks except those of the cat and buzzards. So this boy, he was searching for because he is not sure of the place, isn't it? Things had taken place. Then he is going in search because he could not find, because the rain, everything was washed away, because the footprints, he was searching for that, whether they have the footprints of the holes and things like that, but he could not find anything because of the rain, everything washed away, and he could see only the footprints of the cat. Cat means wild, maybe tiger or things like that, and buzzard. The buzzards means this vulture-like animal. He could see only those prints, and he could not. Did he find the door? No, he could not find. So he was disappointed or happy? He must be very much disappointed. Let us see what will happen to the next, is it not? So he was unhappy. Who was unhappy? Jody, because of he could not find the phone, is it not? So that is what you will see. But later we will see what will happen to him, and there is a third part which is speaking about how he is satisfied with that, or he stopped his search, things like that. Is it clear? I hope you understood. Please read the lesson. So here the comprehension, if you are able to understand, Jody did not want Millville with him for two reasons. What were the reasons? Jody did not want to take him with him. That is what I explained you. Two reasons he says. If the fawn is dead or missing, he will feel disappointed, is it not? So he doesn't want to show that feelings. Second thing, if he found the fawn, he feels so happy and jovial, and he doesn't want to show that reason also, is it not? So these are the two reasons. He did not want Millville to go with him in search of the fawn, because he stopped him elsewhere and he wanted to go alone, is it not? Then second one is, why was Millville afraid to leave Jody alone? Millville was finding difficult. He doesn't want to leave because Jody is small. He doesn't want to leave him alone. What he said? He's frightened because you may be also bit, or you may be lost somewhere, or you may be also bitten by a snake. That is what the fear in Millville's heart. So he doesn't want to leave him alone. So that is what the second part of your lesson. Is it clear for you? I hope it is very long, short and clear. And let us go to the third part. Little bit of that we will do. So now we are here. They are there in the jungle. It's not. They are in the field. Where they are in the forest, where they found or killed the things in search of. Now the third part, page number 91. Let us continue. Movement directly in front of him startled him to so that he tumbled backward. So what happened is, movement directly in front of him. What is in front of him? Startled him, because difficult was for him. It was difficult to go ahead, and he was tumbled back. So he was just pushing, and because he was little disappointed, maybe it's not that courage was not. The fawn lifted its face to his. The fawn lifted its face to his. It turned its head with a wide, wandering motion, and shook him through with the stare of its liquid eyes. It was quivering. It made no effort to rise or turn. Jody could not trust himself to move. So what is the meaning here? He says he saw then he movement directly in front of him struck. So there was was the door dead? We don't know. We'll find out. Okay. So quivering means shaking slightly. The meanings words are there. So here the movement directly in front of him startled him so that he tumbled back. For him it was difficult, the movement, expect that is that. So what do you say? The night is rain, the wash, the way, and so that there is stopped, you must see. He could see only the footprints of the boot, this thing. So then following the lesson. So for him it was going ahead, it was not that easy for him. So he just took a step back. So that is what he says, that fawn lifted its face to his. Though lifted up, maybe he must have. Then It turned its head with a wide wandering motion and shook him through with the stare of his liquid eyes. It was squaring. It made no effort to rise, to run. Jody could not trust him to move. He whispered, "It's me." Who whispered? It's me. Jody is telling, "It's me." So the fawn lifted its nose, scenting him. Scenting means because the animals can get the smell of the people. Sending him. He reached out one hand and laid it on his soft neck. To touch made him delirious. Okay. And he moved forward on all fours, all fours means the legs, until he was close beside it. He put his arms around its body. Who? Jody's action is not. He put around then. All right. A light convulsion passed over it. Convulsion passed over it, but it did not stare. So convulsion, what means of convulsion? A shiver was there. So he just slowly go to fight because the animal was not dead maybe or something happened. So he went slowly, got hold of the animal. So what is it? Then the animal wanted to kill. Maybe if he was late, naturally those animals could have ate or killed or thing. He struck its side as gently as though the fawn were a chin deer and he might break it. So its skin was very soft. It was sleek and clean and had a sweet scent of grass. He rose slowly and lifted the fawn from the ground. Its leg hung limply. They are surprisingly long, and he had to hoist the fawn and as high as possible under his arms. So you have seen how it is that boy's action towards how kind he was, how loving he was, all those things. The chain deer, okay. Then he says, so he found the dead animal maybe or the affected or there was something happened to that. It's not. So he says, he was afraid that it might kick the bleak at sight and smell of its mother. He says that he is just frightened whether this this will kick him, all those things. Because he is a small boy, is not. He skirted the clearing and pushed his way into the thicket. Okay, it was difficult to fight through with his own burden. So for him, it was difficult to take the lift because he is a small boy. He is struggling to take him out from the bushy garden because it has got horns and things like that. Because a male deer will have horns, is not? So it was maybe here and there touching and he could not remove and things. It is the fawn's legs caught into the bushes and he could not lift his own with freedom. He tried to shield its face from prickling veins. It had knobbed with his stead. His heart thumped with the marvel of its acceptance of him. He reached the trail and walked as fast as he could until he came to the intersection which the road home. He stopped to rest and set the fawn down on its dangling legs. It wavered on them. It looked at him and bleated. So the bleating is sounding, making cry. So this he could then, because he saw some other things, not because which animal they were, because they killed the mother, is it not? The mother's body a vulture was eating, not his. So this child, this fawn was found, and he went in search of it, found it, and he, with much difficulty, he took him up and brought him to, he wanted to take him to home. Is it clear? So which dog was dead? Was the fawn dead? The fawn was not dead because they killed. I told you to wait. Okay, the fawn, the mother who was killed and took the heart and liver, that body, carcass were there, that dead body was there. That only the vulture was eating. That is what. Okay. So then this animal, the fawn was hiding in but then the boy took lot of patience in order to search and find this fawn. Is it clear for you? So you must read carefully, otherwise you will miss. Okay. Now, so he took him, and the animal was a little scared, but then he said its eye slowly, very gently approached the animal and took him. Bleating means that started to cry, making little cry of the sound. That is what bleating. He said, enchanted, I will carry you after I get my breath. He said, he was very happy. Who was happy? The Jodi was very happy. And he said, he was just panting and he's tired, I will carry you after I get my breath. He said, he was so much disappointed first. He was so much, her heart was so happy when he found the fawn. He said, I will carry you. Let me take a little rest. That is what the boy is telling to the animal. He remembered his father saying that a fawn would follow if it had first been carried. So then he said, his father used to tell him, if the fawn is carried a little time, afterwards the fawn itself will follow the person who carried. That is, he heard from his father. He said, that is why he told you wait, I will carry you. He started away slowly. The fawn started after him. He came back to it and stroked it and walked away again. So when he carried a little time, then it was following. He went away. Then it took a few bobbling steps slowly, shivering, stepped towards him and cried piteously. So then the fawn was following him, and then it cried piteously, cried little piteously means feeling difficulty that way, a small one. It was willing to follow him. It belonged to him. It was his own. He was light-headed with his joy. So the boy was so happy. Now he realizes, now this Jodi realizes that the fawn belongs to me. So he was so happy, overjoyed. That is what he said. It is his own. He says, it is my own. He was light-headed with his joy. He was so overjoyed. He was so happy that he found the baby, the fawn. He wanted to fondle it and to run and roam with it. So he was so happy, carry and he wanted to play with it and run and things. He called it to come to him. So he called him, come to him. He dared not alarm it. He picked it up and carried it in front of him over his two arms. It seemed to him that he walked without effort. So first he did all what he could do for this, and then slowly the fawn was following him, and he made an effort to make him to walk and things like that. So kindly, so gently, so lovingly, this boy went in search of the fawn and found it. Is it clear for you? I don't know whether it is clear, but you must read the textbook carefully. So, which animal was dead, how it was dead, and how they found this fawn, and what was his action, what was his reaction when he was searching, was joy, happiness, all. He had a mixed feeling before, is it not? So when he found it, he was so jovial, he was so happy. So with this I'll stop. I want you to read the textbook carefully and study the lesson. Is it clear for you? And look for the meanings, very, very essential. If you don't look for the meanings, you will not understand. Is it clear for you children? Right? I will give you maybe underline some of the words and to make down the meanings, search in the dictionary. So see you in the next class. Thank you. Listen carefully. Read the lessons. That is the only way you can study. Thank you.